Welcome to another episode of Over Us today. Very special guest, Mr. Jeremy Knight of the Night. You have a cool name. You might take he might be in one of the top 3 slots of coolest names in real estate.
Daniel Daggers.
Yep.
Jeremy Knight.
Mm-hmm. Matt Leonetti. Yeah.
I was going to say Matt Leonetti.
The Knight Group. I mean, that's a cool name too. But Jeremy, thank you so much. You're part of Real Brokerage as well, correct?
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. We've had a couple real agents on in a row. We've had Katie Day, Tim Macy, and now Jeremy Knight.
Yeah, we're taking over the planet, I guess.
Yeah, well,
this is not a paid episode, by the way. We are not sponsored by Real in any shape or form.
Yeah, when shit stops being polite, when people stop being polite and start getting real.
That's right.
I've been telling every single.
That should be our new logo. In fact, I'm gonna our motto. I'm gonna have to reach out to Tamir for that one.
I've told Katie, I've told Tim, no one's doing it. So if you can do that,
I'll make it happen.
I'll make it happen. Yeah, 85% royalty, and we're good. Jeremy, thank you so much for being on the show. For people who may not know you, can you give us your elevator pitch? Who is Jeremy Knight?
Yeah, so I'm a realtor out of the Austin area. I've been a realtor for about 7-ish years. I was always a decently producing agent, and I was spending money on everything, trying to get leads like everybody does. And I started doing video, and I was in a lot of those, realtor groups, and I was creating content that, was like funny realtor stuff, kind of, not as good quality Matt Leonetti stuff for sure. I don't have the comic genius for what you do, but I was doing stuff like that, and I realized my stuff was more focused at agents and not necessarily focused at the intended user, which was sellers and buyers. So I started talking with some people about what I was doing wrong on my YouTube channel, because I had a YouTube channel at that point. And I started changing my content to be about what people are actually searching for and looking for in real estate. And my business has taken off in a way I never would have expected.
When did you start the YouTube channel into your career?
So I've had the channel for about 4 years, but it was really 2 years ago that I changed what the content was and what we focused on. And that's where things like really took off. I mean, with about 6 months of actually changing my content, all of a sudden I started getting leads pretty much daily.
Was there a specific video that kind of blew you up to like the next level, or was it just being consistent with the videos?
Sorry, give me 1 second here.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, good.
He's getting the fucking
it's like a
leader.
CBS. He's got
the CV.
He's got 6 liquids right there.
So I wouldn't say there was an exact video that really set me off. It was a bunch of content. I think that's one thing, you can have a viral hit on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all these other places. And it's a little bit harder to go viral on YouTube talking about real estate. But once I had a good catalog of content, so about 4 or 5 months of good content, people started taking me more seriously. And as my subscriber count started to grow, people started taking me more seriously and more seriously. And, got to the point where I was getting burnt out putting out content. So I started a live stream on my channel, and that took off. Like that took, legs of its own. And so we now have Real Amigos. It's me and 2 other guys that are, at Real Broker in Austin. And we don't talk about just real estate. We talk about a lot of different things, crypto, all this like crazy stuff. Like I'm half the time like, what are we even talking about?
Yeah, Eric should join. He's a crypto maniac.
Yeah, right. We should actually have you on. That'd be a lot of fun. We get to talk about the metaverse and being next to Snoop's house and all that fun stuff. So but it took about 6 months, and then all of a sudden I noticed like, man, I'm getting a lead a day. And it wasn't just like, you get a lead from like Zillow or wherever. I'm getting a lead and they're like, hey, we're ready to buy. We're pre-approved. We're ready to go. And I'd put them under contract a week later. I'm like, okay. So I started focusing more on like a little bit more expensive listings and a little bit more expensive stuff. And I would say every month we're closing at least 1 to 2 multi-million-dollar homes, where before that, my average price point was in the mid 5s. And now our price point really is in the 900s. What's great about what we do is I have, kind of a pseudo team here in Austin. So all of our stuff that's a little bit lower, we'll send that out to the team, and then we take more of the higher dollar stuff.
So when you get these leads from YouTube, how are they coming in? Is there a specific place on your YouTube videos where you tell people to contact you, or is it kind of more, hey, I saw your YouTube video from a couple of weeks ago, and they just email you off your website?
Yeah, I think the biggest mistake agents make, there's a couple of people out there selling programs, and part of their program is always have a call to action, have a call to action. I think it's the biggest mistake on YouTube a realtor can do is have a call to action. Like, hey, I'm such and such out of Austin and I sell homes, so you should call me. And you do it at the beginning of your video and people are like, I'm out. So I don't really do call to actions. I give people, information at the end. I basically say, hey, catch me on the next video. And basically those people are coming through, they come in through my website. They'll call, they'll email, or they'll come in through my website. So all of my information's in, the description bar at the bottom. So that's where people are coming to me from. A lot of it's coming through my website and into my CRM.
Got it.
That's awesome. Doesn't even sound like you're really having to nurture these leads. Like they trust
they're ready
you.
to go.
Yeah. They
They're ready
trust
to go.
you right from
Yeah.
that.
I mean, that's the greatest part, is because here's something interesting too. So when people come in, I'll send out an email to them. It's an auto-generated email. It has like 8 questions. Like, hey, thank you so much for reaching out to us. And one of the questions is, are you working with a realtor or are you interviewing realtors? And if people say that they're interviewing realtors, we're like, oh, thank you so much for letting us know. Go ahead and work with that other realtor. Because at this point, I've given you hours and hours and hours of content. If you're not ready to work with me after hours of content, it's going to be a bit contract.
And now you're very heavily focused on Austin specific content. So what was kind of the thought process behind that? And is that what you recommend other agents do? Like if I'm in Los Angeles, should I only create content in LA real estate, or do you think it should be more broad?
Yeah, so there's some really good agents out there that have channels that are not so niche down like mine. Jeb Smith's a good example. Jason Walters a very good example. They just put out, what's going on in the market in general. Those are good, and they're making money from YouTube itself. I'm not necessarily making money from YouTube, but I'm doing a lot of business from the people coming into my channel and looking for Austin. So I would say do what you want your audience. Think about what your audience is going to watch. What do you want to consume? And I'd make that content. So if you want to get business out of your YouTube channel, don't be a salesman. Don't be a sleazy car salesman on YouTube, but go on YouTube and talk about what people are actually searching for. Think about it. If you're leaving LA and you're going to Austin, what would you do? A foreign buyer buying multi-million-dollar homes, what are they going to need to know? And make content around that.
Yep, that makes sense. I think a lot of agents kind of fall into the trap of when they're doing content creation on YouTube, they think like, oh, I'm going to become a vlogger now, and this could actually become my source for revenue. But you're very focused on, no, I'm creating this YouTube channel to grow my real estate business. Like I don't necessarily, or you don't necessarily care about monetizing your YouTube channel. You're getting the monetization from the leads that are coming with it. So that niche is really crushing it for you.
Yeah, I mean, I do make money from YouTube, but I mean, it's less than $1,000 a month. It's not a ton of money. I could be doing a little more, monetization, like doing, clicks and stuff like that, and selling little stuff on the side. But that's not what I do. I do have a second channel where we, you came on and we talk about kind of helping agents. There's no sales pitches. I have no sales program to sell, but we just talk about, kind of what you're doing here, talking about what people want to hear and how they can make themselves better on YouTube, Instagram, all these other things.
And that's Agent Content Creators.
That's Agent
Content. Is the channel.
Creators.
So why should a YouTuber create like a separate channel? Would it interfere with your other content and kind of confuse the algorithm to have multiple videos going? Or is that the thought process behind that?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if I start putting that content out there, it was aimed more towards helping agents on my regular YouTube channel, it's going to convolute what YouTube's looking at my channel. Is going to stop putting it in front of people that are actually searching for my content. They're going to, it's too broad of a thing. I could do that. But for my intents and purposes on my YouTube channel, it wouldn't flow.
Makes sense.
My internet was getting all messed up. I don't know if you could tell.
No, I wasn't paying
Okay,
attention
good.
to you.
Yeah, I know you were fucking asking 7,000 questions. I couldn't even jump in.
I mean,
there
the
once.
guy's dropping
He's
value
dropping
bombs
tons
one
of
after
value.
one.
But I wanted to
this
get
is
into
an interview. What are we
my
supposed to-
favorite question with them, because he was talking about LA to Austin.
Yeah.
And this is my favorite question. I need to know, did Joe Rogan moving to Austin have an impact on the real estate market?
That's a really great question. I think it did, it gave Austin a little more validation. So the thing about Austin is we don't have just one singular workforce here, right? So we have a lot of people in tech, we have a lot of people in the medical field, we have a lot of people in a lot of different fields in Austin. And so if somebody's moving to Austin, they're looking to, maybe pay a little less in taxes or income taxes than they would in California. They're looking to get away from some of the politics potentially in California. So they look at Austin because it's a little more similar to California, but it's different. So that's why people, kind of looking at Austin for the most part. But I think Joe Rogan kind of gave Austin a little bit more validation as far as like what Austin is, because everybody's seen Austin as this weird place. And I think him coming here and a lot of other people since then, Elon Musk, I think all of that has really, given Austin the legs that it needed to be a small, big city.
Yeah, I agree, because he talks up Austin all the time now on his podcast.
Does.
Tom Segura's out there now
Yep.
as well, which is awesome. How far away are you from it? Do you know where his house is?
Yeah, well, I'm about 15, 20 minutes from his house.
That's sick. Yeah, everyone knows where Drake's house is here in Toronto. I assume it would be the same for Joe Rogan.
It's like the Capitol building in these places.
Yeah, no, pretty much. Yeah, you have to know where he lives, just because you got to sell a house next to him, right? You're probably not going to sell his house, but hey, you want to move next to this guy? We can get you in there.
Did you do any videos around Joe Rogan's move or that kind of comedy circle and, the places he mentions on the podcast? That probably crushes a video.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't. I've done quite a few videos on Elon just because of what it means for people moving here that are going to be buying, that are going to be working for Tesla, what that move actually means for our economy here. So I've done quite a few videos on that. Not really Joe Rogan, but I'll have to listen to more of his podcasts now that I have the C word. I've been listening to what I should be taking. So that's
Is there a lot?
Let me wish you a quick recovery.
Yeah,
the C word. Is there a lot of more people driving Teslas now that Elon's over
there? No, I don't think there's more people driving it because Elon's here. Austin's always been a place that, it is a little bit more progressive. We have a lot of people that drive Teslas before that. I drive a Tesla now, and that was just because it made a lot more economic sense than driving a Toyota Tundra to listing appointments. So, yeah.
Geez, I thought a Tesla would have blocked the C word. It just would have blocked it completely. Don't they have that technology yet?
I think they do. I mean, I think once the Tesla trucks come out and whatever they're building out there at the Gigafactory, once that starts hitting the ground, I think Austin's gonna be one of those places it's going to be known primarily for, like, you're going to walk. I mean, right now you're going to fly in and you're going to get your Tesla Hertz car and you're going to drive all over Austin. It's going to be great. I can't wait.
Yeah, that's sweet. Now, back to the YouTube. Are you bulk recording these videos and just kind of releasing them every week? Or are you doing week to week to stay up with current events and stuff? All right, let's take a break from the fire we're spinning out. Eric, do you want to make 2022 your best year yet?
No.
Okay. Well, we're talking next level, triple your transaction volume, crushing the competition, kicking ass, closing deals, and taking names kind of success. Are you sure you don't want that?
No, I do actually, now that you just said that. And that's actually what happens when you partner with Boomtown, the #1 rated real estate CRM in the game. It's got the tools and tech you need to generate and convert conversation ready leads. These leads are ready to go. To check out Boomtown and see how you can score 750 bones in free digital advertising, visit boomtownroi.com/overask.
Now that's boomtownroi.com/overask.
I do both. So going into the holidays, I filmed about 8 videos ahead. That way, because I knew I was going to be running around doing stuff. Typically what I do, and you can tell when I bulk because there's not really any relevant stuff happening in those videos. I like to film ahead, and then if I have like a news event that comes up that I think is going to be good, I'll shoot that, send it to my editor and say, we're replacing next week's video with this. So I try to shoot at least once a week, if not shoot multiple videos a week.
And how often are you uploading?
Once a week. So I do one, 8 to 10 minute video per week. Plus I do the live stream, which we do about 2 to 3 hours, sometimes 3. It's crazy when we do 3 hours. And then we'll do like 3 or 4 clips that come out like on Sundays.
And those clips come out on the same channel also?
Yeah, it's on the same channel.
So what time period, you said like 8 to 10 minutes is kind of your go-to video.
Yeah.
Is that the sweet spot for you? Is that what you found, holds the most retention? And
yeah, no, it's a great question. So I think, YouTube is definitely for more long form content. So what I'm trying to do when I create my videos is keep people watching them for as long as I can. So you can look at the analytics and see where they're at. I try to get people to watch for about 60% of the video is really my aim time. A decent video is going to get you about 50%. So I found that more and more that I would do 12, 15-minute videos, I was seeing like a 40% or 35% retention time. But every time I do an 8 to 10 minute video, and I create my videos for the ADHD in mind, because you have to move things so quickly and keep people entertained for that short amount of time that they are on there. And you got to get them to click to another video. If you're taking forever to get to a point, they're going to drop off. If you're talking about yourself for a minute and a half about how you sell luxury homes or whatever for a minute and a half and don't get to the actual content, people are going to drop off. And so I try to keep 8 to 10 minutes as my sweet spot. I know like Christina Smallhorn, a good friend of mine, she's doing a little bit more 12 to 14 minute videos now. There's other people that have done 20-minute videos. I just find that 20-minute videos are just way too much for me.
Yeah, that's a really good point. On all across all platforms is like that intro. I see agents with new listings or doing whatever, a market update video, and they're spending 30 seconds on their intro. Like I'm fucking out. I don't want to, I can't. And it's literally just their name, their brokerage, what the video's about. It's like, I need someone to talk like right away about what I want to hear, or
Right.
I'm out. So that's a good point.
What I love about your videos is little 60-second videos like, hey, Kim, Jeremy's an asshole. I'm like, I was dying when you did that video. I'm like, oh, I'm the asshole. Hey, Jeremy, I can't believe what Kim did to you, or whatever that was. That was fucking great. That was my favorite video of all time.
Oh, thank you.
I love that one, man. I love that video. I was dying laughing on that one. So I got my stager going over at 9 a.m.
I appreciate it.
Love that video.
I appreciate it. Actually, Bob Tompkins just texted me.
Oh.
Yeah, is he a friend of yours?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was texting me too.
Oh,
geez. He didn't text me. What did he say? What are you saying to you guys?
Apparently, I'm not following him on Facebook or something. He's upset.
Bob can
sounds like you.
About a lot of things.
He gets. I know. I always tell him I'm gonna fight him because I think I could win. I think I would do pretty well.
He's a burly guy. We went to a couple of baseball games together. He's a burly guy.
Oh yeah? He always seems to find his way into these conversations with the real agents. He does. He really he's got a good thing going. I really like Bob.
He's pumping out a shit ton of content too.
Yeah, he's great.
See him all over TikTok and Reels. So are you adapting any of this content to shorter form? Like I know you have your clips, but how are you translating your long form videos to TikTok and Instagram? Or are you?
Yeah, I've stayed away from TikTok for the most part, but on Instagram, what I'll do is I'll take, what I like to do is I take a small video. So I'll do like a 60-second video about news that comes out, and I'll take that and I'll put it on, and basically just saying, hey, for more information, go to my YouTube channel for longer form. So I was doing that up until about Christmas time, and then, Christmas hit, and now this. So I like doing like 60-second videos where we actually talk about like what the news is for the area and how it'll impact the market. And I was doing those at like YouTube shorts as well. And those were doing really well as well. In fact, I had one that went for a YouTube short for real estate, went pretty viral. It was like 10,000 views. And it was basically just talking about the market. Like, hey, these things just came out about the market. It might impact the market next year, especially if you're buying. So whatever it was, but yeah.
I feel like those videos would crush on TikTok if you just had a kind of green screen and talked about the Austin market or Joe Rogan's impact on it, something like that with a catchy headline like that. Yeah. TikTok's algorithm is so good
Well, the problem with Joe Rogan being here is that it's hard to get cigars now, and whiskey's become harder to find as well.
Right. Why? Because he's just slamming all of them.
He smokes cigars in every episode now.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
But
there's a shortage.
Yeah,
so I got one more question, Matt.
God.
No, it's good. It's valuable.
Okay.
So you said you promote on, like, you'll do a reel or something and then say, check out my YouTube for more. So we had Tim Macy on the podcast, and he said that you probably shouldn't put a clip to your specific video, and that you should put a clip to your entire channel. Is that something you do also? Because you're getting
people
learned
that from me.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So I learned a long time ago. So one of the mistakes that agents make is, like, they want everybody to see their YouTube video, right? So what they'll do is they'll shoot their video, they upload it, they got their thumbnail, their catchy title, and then they'll go onto Facebook and they'll just link drop that video. Hey, I did this video, and they'll link drop. What happens is that YouTube will see that you put that in a Facebook group. They'll see that it's coming, where the traffic's coming from. And then if it's not getting watched, or what will normally happen is that, they'll drop it in a realtor group, and a realtor's like watch 30 seconds of it and go, hey, that's great, let me write a comment on there for you, right? Or I'll sub for your sub. The problem with that is it really hurts your analytics. And so it'll hurt that video. So if you're going to do that, where you drop a link like, hey, I did this really great video, you need to watch it, and you drop your YouTube channel, now they have the ability to go to your channel and watch or not watch a video. And it doesn't hurt the analytics for that specific video. So if you're doing that, then they have the ability to just go, you know what, I'm not even interested in this. That's actually better for you. But then YouTube's saying, okay, people are searching for this content. So that's where it's helpful to put the link, but not the actual video link.
Oh, well, there we go. We're definitely putting the video link.
Yeah, we are. Even though we already learned it, we've still been hammering that video link.
Yeah, I heard you and Tim got into it. He made fun of you on TikTok or something like that.
He did?
No,
he posted it?
He said something and you were like, what?
But yeah, I mean, he said, like, all I do is post memes, and that it's really easy for me, as if, we don't have
that
an
you've
entire
got it
media
easy.
Conglomerate. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As if I don't spend 24 hours a day. I mean, did you see my questionnaire I did last night, Matt?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it took me 3.5 hours.
It's very entertaining.
Yeah, exactly.
Some was gross, but it was entertaining.
Yeah, it was gross.
Is everything organic on your YouTube channel? Are you doing paid ads and stuff?
So I do 0 paid ads. So this is the greatest part about what I do and how I do it. So obviously I have an editor now. I didn't for the longest time. I edited everything. A long time ago, I was paying for ads and my channel was not growing. I stopped doing that and started doing my new content. And when I started doing that, I paid $0. I run it as a realtor. I run a 90%, what's the term? 90% margin. So my expenses are super low. My contract coordinator and my editor are the only two things I pay for.
That's sweet. How much like what do you do now? Like, is it just YouTube? Is that your main source of lead gen?
Yeah, and that's why I'm not too crazy on all the other platforms, because I know where my bread and butter is. And so I've started working more on Instagram and trying to get, to grow an audience on there. So I am taking small clips over there, but everything's on YouTube. I don't, I'm not even on Facebook anymore. I mean, I'm on there because I'm on Instagram, but otherwise I'm not on Facebook at all.
Yeah. And how many people do you have a part of the night group, like agents that you will give like the smaller listings to and stuff?
Yeah. So it's my wife and I are the 2 main agents on the team. And then I have about 4 agents that are in my downline with Real and locally. And so pretty much anytime I have somebody that's looking in an area that I'm not, or looking at a price point that I don't really want to work in, I just say, hey, have you met blah, blah, blah. And then I do a nice little intro. And I was doing where, I would get on the call with them and it just became disastrous. So now it's a straight, hey, thank you for all the information. Blank on my team covers this area. They're so great because they can find all this great stuff faster than I can. What time do you have to meet? And that agent's already messaging them and ready to go. So
are you encouraging your agents to also create a YouTube channel, or is there going to be a spot on your channel for them to do like agent profiles and property tours and stuff, or is it going to be mainly you still?
Yeah, I'm really hesitant about bringing so I have Real Amigos. Both those guys are, I mean, they're kind of on my team. I'm hesitant to bring a bunch of agents on and say, this agent is on my team, and then them talk and all this. I think it dilutes the channel a little bit. Whereas if they come to you, they know, like my wife will answer the call for a lot of these people, and she's like, yeah, I'm Eileen. They're like, okay, they're ready to go. They're ready. They just want to talk to somebody. Sometimes some people are really stuck on just working with me, and that happens. But the reality is that I think doing agent spotlights on your channel dilutes the channel. I talked to Katie Day about this yesterday, and her and I just have philosophical disagreement about it. I think you're putting too many things on your channel that aren't focusing on the content.
Makes sense.
So you get people who just want to work with you. That's something Eric's never experienced, but I can definitely relate to that.
Every episode, huh? Look, I am a content creator. That has been established at this point. Are you still going to be saying this in 5 years?
He's an influencer.
No, I'm a content creator.
Influencers have changed a lot since
I'm a brand creator, a media conglomerate owner, and
yeah, I like that.
Hit a golf ball further than anybody on earth.
I've witnessed that.
Do you play golf? You play golf, Jeremy?
Yeah, I mean, I gave Eric some pointers when we were in Dallas.
Some hashtag pointers for YouTube strategy.
Yeah.
Not on the golf swing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've heard. I mean, you got a good set of arms on you. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Your actual strength to drive the ball.
You say that to every guest. Every guest, you're commenting on their arms.
Yeah, well, I'm saying you. I said me. To you.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I haven't seen Jeremy's arms. But I'm sure he has a nice set of arms as well.
Yeah, it's a nice set. Some pythons over there.
I mean, that's one thing I'll always give you, Eric.
Yeah, you will always give me that. That's true.
Yeah. He's got great hips too. That's
thank
the
you.
important part.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Makes for a good swing, I'd assume.
Speaking of Top Golf, where I met you, are you going to the Tom Ferry Elite Retreat in Vegas?
We are.
Awesome.
Yes.
Cool. We will be there as well.
How is it being in real estate with your wife?
Great question.
That is a very, very good question.
I was going to ask that.
So it grounds me in a lot of ways because I'm the creator, the artist, if you will. And she's wait a second, let me figure out what you're actually doing, and the analytical part where I'm like, no, here we go. We're going to do this. Like I get to answers a lot faster than she ever will. And that's good in one part, but a lot of stuff gets missed when you come to an answer right away. So it's good and bad. To answer the question, we're a team, and so there's a lot of challenges of working with your partner because you'll be talking about real estate at midnight.
It just never turns off.
That's my nightmare.
And so but there's a lot of good that comes from it as well.
Yeah,
we've been a really good team for a while. We both have our strengths, and we know how to play to each other's strengths now.
Did you start your real estate career with her? Like, did you both just say, hey, we're going to become real estate agents as a team, or how did that work out?
No, I started selling real estate within 6 months. She was selling like life insurance at the time, and she was working from home at the time. And I walked in the door one day. She was in the middle of a call. I'm like, hang up. And she's like, what? I'm like, no, hang up. And she's like, fine. And so she hangs up. I'm like, quit your job. You're going to start selling real estate with me. And I walked away, and she was like, what? So that's how the conversation went down.
Wow. If I said that to my wife, she'd punch me in the fucking face.
Yeah.
We have a strict rules here that if anyone talks about real estate after 6 p.m., they're out of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty strict on that. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
what about content? Can you talk about content?
Yeah. We talk about content all day long.
Yeah. I'm having a bad day in content today, Jeremy. My Reels audio is not working all of a sudden.
Uh-oh. Okay.
And this is disastrous for me. So this is what we like to call a code red.
Yeah.
And it could, ruin my day and ultimately my career, actually.
Only two things ruin his day, and it's
crypto.
Bad content day and bad crypto days.
Yeah. And there's a 90% chance that it's a bad crypto day. So most of my days are ruined already.
Yeah. Oh, let's get into a little bit of a not so rapid round, Eric.
Yes. Okay. Well, I still have some more YouTube questions. I'll throw you these questions in the lightning round.
Okay. It's a not so lightning round because we don't actually know the questions we're going to ask you. So you don't have to like do a 1-word answer. You can get into it a little bit.
Okay.
All right,
oh man, I was hoping for 1-word answers.
No, we're not. We're not into it.
How do you end your YouTube videos?
Quickly.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's the deal. The longer you drag on at the end, people just will cut off that last 10 seconds. So I'll pretty much end with, there you go. What did you think? Drop a comment below. Catch you in the next video. That's pretty much it. Or I'll say, like watch one of these videos. Yeah.
I'm going to end the podcast like that because we can never fucking end these things.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good way to do it.
Smart.
So, I mean, my intro though is whatever the hook is for the video. So loosely, whatever the title is. And then it goes like, here's a good example. So the Austin real estate market, is it really crashing? Jeremy Knight, the Knight Group, your favorite Austin realtor, and then straight into the content. So
I notice you have an engagement tactic at the beginning too, where you say, what are your favorite places to live in Austin or something like that.
Yeah.
So you already have them commenting something immediately in the video, which is really smart.
So a video I put out yesterday, I noticed the comments were like out of control, and it was about comparing Austin and California. So obviously it's going to do that. But at 3 points during the time, like in the video, I'm like, oh, somebody's going to roast me for that in the comments. And sure enough, somebody roasted me in the comments for that. Cause I couldn't name whatever Silomar was. I'm like, I don't know what the hell that word is. So, or that city is. And so I noticed that even like stuff I was saying at the end of the video, people were commenting on the end of the video. So it's good to continually engage your audience by, asking, you're giving them information, but ask them questions throughout the video, and you'll see where people will comment. And if people are commenting on the very last thing you asked, then they're watching the whole thing. And that's great.
Do you try to be a little controversial or polarizing?
I'm naturally controversial.
Yeah, because like that LA, Austin, it's a fair argument, but like people are definitely going to have their opinions on it. But I think that's good for engagement. And that's what I like to do. I like being on the line of like, oh, should he say that? Should he not say that? And then it starts a whole other conversation.
Well, that goes back to having the wife as part of your team. I tell my wife a video idea and she's like, you can't do that. I'm like, all right, I know I'm doing that video. Right. So like there's times I'm like, this video is not going to be well in the comment section. But here's the thing. Don't take the comments personal on YouTube. People are just going to be a-holes for whatever reason in their life. And I have a standard comment when somebody's an a-hole to me in the comment section and I'm reading it, I just go, oh, bless your heart. I'm so glad you're one of my number one fans.
Yeah.
And they hate that. And then they comment even more. And guess what? Oh, the engagement. It's so great. It's beautiful. So I like to
bless your heart. I would get pissed off at that response. If I was a troll and someone said bless your heart to me, I would be furious for the rest of the day.
Bless your heart. Okay, well, that's a good one. We'll use that. Okay. I want to ask my favorite question, Eric.
By all means.
Okay. If you had to choose one celebrity, not a real estate celebrity, an actor, musician, to join your real estate team because you think they'd be the best fit for the career, who would it be?
Oh man, that's a good one. Selena Gomez.
Oh, that was like, I did not expect Selena Gomez. Okay,
just
can you
The
elaborate?
camera, yeah.
I mean,
Selena Gomez.
Let's be honest. If I was doing videos with Selena Gomez, everybody would be calling me. So there you go.
Absolutely.
That's fair. You don't even think of that. So we picked Leonardo DiCaprio. Specifically, Eric did from Wolf of Wall Street, but we were thinking about actually physically, doing real estate, but we weren't thinking from the way of just getting the most famous person on earth and having them be beside you in a video.
Just ultimate clickbait.
She's from Texas, right? So being from Texas, people are going to like, she's from Texas. I can get her to say a Southern draw pretty easily and we'll just get her on video and it's great. It'd be fantastic.
Smart content perspective. Yeah, we've always been thinking like who would make the best cold calls, be the most personal. But
I'd love to see Leonardo DiCaprio actually, make cold calls. Hey, I see that you have your houses for sale by owner on Banana Street. Right. That would be pretty fun.
I feel like he'd be incredible though, like because he would just play a character. He would just put himself into a character and he would crush. That's the thing. Like he's so good. Have you seen Don't Look Up? It's fucking awesome.
I have. That movie was hysterical.
Yeah, it was really good.
That movie sucked. What are you guys talking about?
Are you out of your fucking mind?
Dude, that movie was like a 5 out of 10, if that. Maybe the first 30 minutes was funny. Jonah Hill was funny, but I mean,
Jonah Hill was hilarious.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence was great. Leo was it was a total different character for him, and I thought he played it fantastic.
Yeah, he played like a cool neurotic scientist, I guess. But I mean,
I
Jeremy,
liked
you sat through that entire movie and enjoyed it.
Yeah,
in pieces. I found that I can't watch a full movie in one sitting anymore. So I watched it like, as much as I could stand for 10 minutes and then watched it later.
Yeah.
I watched the whole thing straight and I thought it was great.
Great. Yeah. All right. Well, final question.
Okay.
The dislikes on YouTube.
This isn't the final question.
Okay. It's not the final question. Final question for me.
Yeah.
YouTube removing dislikes. Is that good for YouTube? Do you think that's helped your channel, hurt your channel? Do you like it? What are your thoughts on
it? Going back to the controversial person in me, I always thought that if you put so if you go on Facebook, right, and you do one of those angry faces, you can click on the thing and see who's doing the angry faces. I want to see who's writing the thumbs down. Is it agents in my market? Is it somebody that's just angry? So I would have rather them go, hey, you know what? Instead of removing the dislikes, let's show a thing where you can see the username. I want to see who's doing the dislikes. So, I mean, as far as removing it, I don't really care. It doesn't really make a difference. I never looked at the dislikes to begin with. The more somebody disliked the video, it just means I struck a nerve. So I liked when people were disliking videos. In fact, when I had all thumbs up, I was like, damn, this video sucks.
So did dislikes actually help engagement?
Oh yeah.
Because
that's why, so there's a guy who does all these videos about the market crashing. All he does is do the market crashing. And like all these agents like, yeah, I thumbs down his video. I'm like, you idiot, you're helping him. Like, stop thumbs downing his video, stop watching his videos, and that'll actually do damage to him versus you putting a thumbs down. Thumbs down means nothing. It just is engagement.
I liked scrolling through YouTube and seeing videos that had dislikes. Like it made me want to watch it more.
Sometimes more dislikes than the likes. You're like, oh, what's going on over here? Yeah.
Yeah. Getting absolutely ratioed. I love that. It made me want to engage with that video more for sure.
I've never disliked a YouTube video in my life. I've disliked them, but I've never actually clicked the dislike button.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have either.
It's like, it seems so irrelevant to me.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm on fucking Tom Cruise's video and I dislike it. Okay.
I'm always worried that people are going to see my actions on YouTube. So I don't want to like any videos, comment on any videos, unless it's just like a real estate video, but anything like political, crypto, like anything like that. I'm like, I'm just going to consume it. I'm not going to engage with it.
Yeah. I don't engage at all on YouTube. I just watch it for pleasure.
Yeah.
And,
do you watch it for content ideas? Like, how the hell did you come up with your stuff, man? The comic genius of your stuff. I'm not that funny. Even though I think I'm funny.
Thank you. Well, if you ask my wife, I'm not that funny either. But a lot of my stuff is, I grew up loving comedy and like comedy movies and stuff. So a lot of our stuff, and like Eric and I throw ideas off of each other now, and it's nice to have someone like that. But a lot of it doesn't come, like, I don't watch real estate content really for content ideas. Like, I do real life real estate experiences, and that's how I get the ideas of, like, it's just like, because it's a shit show some days. Yeah. And it's like it's funny how terrible it can be. And like, you just find the humor in like shitty things that happen. And, I take a lot of inspiration from different movies and stuff like that. And yeah, I just like to do it. I'm just very passionate about doing it.
Eric, I was on my other channel, Agent Content Creators, and he said something that just stuck with me. His agents do a terrible job of showing how terrible this industry is. And I think, or maybe he didn't say it in those words, but it was something
showing their
similar
losses.
To that. What was that?
Showing their losses.
Showing their losses. And so I've made an effort to actually think of that when I'm doing some videos, to actually show the losses, because everybody thinks that this industry is just champagne and caviar. It's a really shitty champagne and a really shitty caviar, if that's the case. So, I appreciate that.
Videos that, with a thumbnail and a title that said, here's how I blew up my $1 million deal, or here's what happened at an inspection. I feel like those would absolutely crush just nightmare stories. Yeah. And Jason Cassidy just did one on his Instagram Reels, just telling like an embarrassing story. And then he got a ton of engagement from that. I actually used that for one of my stories, asking agents to submit their most embarrassing stories. And each one of these submissions, some of them were unbelievably disgusting.
Yeah.
Like clogging pipes, crapping without the water running.
A lot of crapping.
Oh yeah, I peed in a house one time that they had turned the water off because of the C word, right? They like, we don't want people like using our toilets. I didn't read that in the description. And I'm sitting there as my client's coming in like, hey, how's it going? Trying to turn the water on for this thing.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going? So I could flush my pee in this house. That was a great one.
A YouTube channel dedicated to, nightmare stories.
Nightmare stories, yeah.
Absolutely crush.
Well, my business definitely got better when I started posting more just like relatable content. It was just opinions I had and things I'm a very observant person. So I would just kind of talk on whatever the fuck I wanted to talk on, and people seem to relate and pick up on it. So it's been cool. There's a ton of different ways, like the content you do, the content I do is totally different, but there's niches and lanes for it.
Right.
It doesn't have to be the exact same thing. And that's where agents miss the point. They're like, oh, well, I like Matt, so I need to be exactly like Matt, or I like Jeremy, I need to be, but you don't. Take the inspirations from all those things and find your own lane, and it'll work for you as well.
I 100% agree. I mean, I was trying to do silly, funny videos and compete with Bob Tompkins back in the day. And I realized that I'm not Bob Tompkins. I'm me. And I'm good at giving people information, telling them how I see what it actually means for my market. And so realtors aren't going to like that, because realtors are in real estate. They could care less how I feel about the market.
Mm-hmm.
But buyers and sellers, they care because it impacts their wallet. And so that's why I do videos. I mean, literally I should do a video called How Real Estate Will Impact Your Wallet. Boom. That's my next video right there.
There we go.
Right on.
See the type of inspiration that we provide. Yeah. So many agents do make that mistake where they try to be funny, and Reels has allowed this also. And it's cool to see agents trying to be funny, because that's kind of what we preach is, humor in marketing. But you could tell immediately when someone is just forcing it out.
Yeah.
And when you're not being yourself, or you're not, posting content of something you're super knowledgeable about, or you're trying to act out a skit, or you're trying to do something kind of in the guise of humor, like a Zestimate joke, and you're dancing and there's a, stupid song to it, or you're lip syncing or something like that. Like, it doesn't always work. You don't have to be funny.
No. And when you're uncomfortable, the viewer will be uncomfortable. Yeah. Like, it's sometimes very hard to watch. But like, that not to say that you can't do something else. Like, I say it all the time. Like, why do your friends like you? There's characteristics in everybody that people gravitate towards. And that's what you have to share on video. And then you're going to get those like-minded people that gravitate towards your video. Like, that's what it is. It's not all just, oh, be funny, because that's working for some people.
Well, and that's the greatest part of it, is if you're creating content for an audience, and the audience is going to say, hey, we want to work with this guy. The reality is you're going to probably have a great year in real estate, because you're going to work with some great people. And that's why, like, people, if they're shopping on my questionnaire, if they're shopping agents, I don't even bother, because if you're already not with me, then we're not going to be a good fit. And I find that the people that come to me, they're ready to go. They found value in my content. Like, they're already more educated. In fact, Bloomberg guy, I did an interview with Bloomberg, and this guy just kept hounding me. So how is this impacting your real estate career with YouTube? And just kept hounding me. And I'm like, look, dude, people, when they work with me, they're ready to buy a home. One. Number two, they're a lot more educated than the average person. So we're going to have a lot easier time. That's the whole point of the YouTube channel. It's not about how much money I'm going to make. It's about how I'm going to help people actually buy a home, and let's both have a successful transaction. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I think on that, Eric, I mean,
yeah.
Can you ask your final question?
Yeah, sure. It was daunting. Jeremy, where can the people find you?
Oh, where can they find me?
Yeah, where's the number one place?
Yeah. YouTube, just YouTube my name, Jeremy Knight. All my contacts and information's in there. Agent Content Creators, my other channel. Find me on Instagram at The Real Jeremy Knight.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna end this like you do, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around. Stay tuned for more episodes. Fucking destroy that fucking subscribe button, like button, comment, subscribe again. We got
Watch
Jeremy
this
Knight.
video. Watch that video.
Yeah. Watch all the videos. Okay.